On today's the DNVR pregame show, it is time. Week 1 tomorrow, Colorado versus North Dakota State. Uncle Neely, RK, and a special guest coming very soon. Here we go. Bov Nation!
Let's go!
Don't panic, Jake. I'm going to say you. You!
I never know what's going to come out of your mouth next.
Pause.
Oh, it's the DNVR pregame show presented by Game Time and Coors Light. It's game time, so get $20 off your first purchase with code BUFFS, B-U-F-F-S, on the Game Time app. And make sure you're choosing chill by getting Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/DNVR. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
You know, Jake, for this to be week 1, you nailed that.
Thank you.
You're in week 7 form.
I like that. Thank you.
Honestly, it is week 1, but nothing ever really changes for us.
No. It's business as usual. We made it, though, guys.
Yeah, we did, man. It was a long, hot summer, and now we're here. We got football back in our direct lives. Week 0 is behind us. We get week 1, Colorado Buffaloes. I'm excited. Can you tell I'm excited?
Yes.
Yeah.
I barely slept last night, so I have very low hopes for how much I'm going to sleep tonight.
Well, let's just get right into it then. Let's preview this game. North Dakota State Bison coming to town tomorrow. Take on Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes. A lot of talk, not between these teams, but about this program leading up to this game, leading up to this season. A lot of speculation about this game. A lot of people saying that the Bison are going to come in here and knock off the Colorado Buffaloes. But as we are about to talk about, things are very different with this football team for this season.
Very different, Jake. Well said. You know, I think that a lot of times we look at like the history of programs and make the assumptions that the teams are the program and everything just continues as normal. You can start with North Dakota State, their rich history of being giant killers. They play up. They've won like 6 out of 7 of those. You're looking at this Colorado team as if it was last year's team. But when you look at the players, the new ones, the developed players that were here, you look at the new coaches, the new schemes, the new installs, this is not last year's Colorado Buffaloes.
And just if you could expand on that and just kind of your view on how locked in this team is, because I think a lot of people have this idea, this could be a trap game. I personally think it's really hard to get trapped in week 1 when you have unlimited time to prepare for the game. But just your thought and your sight on how dialed in this team is on North Dakota State specifically.
Well, I will tell you this. Let me start with QB1, Shedeur Sanders, 8-year starter when you go high school, Jackson State here. Show me a time he's lost week 1. Like when you give that dude that much time to prepare, it's just on. Saw him do it at Jackson State against FAMU. You saw him do it last year against number 17 in the country, TCU. Same game plan here. This guy is well prepared and always ready. Same thing for this team. They're locked in and ready to hit somebody else other than themselves. And no one is looking past him. Much respect to North Dakota State and what they have accomplished as a program, what they do year in and year out. However, the focus has been internal. And when you look at even our coaches here, Rob Livingston, who come in, new defense coordinator, he's been a part of one of those teams that took somebody out, the giant killer. So he knows you can't sleep, can't take it for granted. Go after these guys like they're national champs.
And they have been many, many times.
Exactly.
You mentioned Shedeur, though, and so without further ado, I tweeted out, I said, the Shedeur Sanders stat that will calm all of your nerves about this game. Are you ready for what Shedeur's stats are in game 1s in his college career?
Go right ahead.
85 of 104. That is 81% completion percentage. 1,064 yards. 9 touchdowns. 0 interceptions.
Not surprised. I have stood there for 4 years watching it. It is phenomenal. You know, he is like Babe Ruth calling his shot. Speaking of which, the Babe Ruth call your shot jersey went for $25 million the other day.
Wow.
That's insane.
Insane. Back on Shedeur, our Babe Ruth. I have seen him call his shot going into week 1 because he is prepared and, you know, to quote Wester, overly. He is overly prepared. He is ready for these games, these moments. Even one of the Jackson State games, I think Coach Pollock, we might have beat FAMU 7-6, and he put it all on his shoulders as to why we were not dominant, because he had turned the ball over. It rained part of the game. He had a fumble. The guy's mature. The guy's been a leader. He is ready and locked in. No one in this building is looking past North Dakota State.
One more time. 85 of 104, 81%, 1,064 yards, 9 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. That man is going to take care of business, and it goes back to something that we've talked about multiple times. When we talked to him before the TCU game last year, he just said, I've had too much time to prepare.
Exactly.
Yep.
I've had too much time to prepare. And he went out there and diced them.
He had an all-time performance last year in Week 1. And as we said in the headline, this is going to be the springboard for his Heisman campaign, pretty much. We know what he's capable of. We know the talent he has. And I think we understand the talent level of this team, how much better they've gotten and how much better his supporting cast is. So, this is literally it. This is where it all starts, this Heisman campaign.
And I know everyone wants to see this team run the ball, and I think everyone here agrees. We want to see this team run the ball successfully this year. But I do believe that North Dakota State is more well-suited to stop Colorado running the ball than they are to stop Shedeur Sanders and this wide receiver group from passing the ball.
Absolutely. I don't think that they have the level of talent on their defensive side to match up with the talent of our receivers. And then I don't think they have the depth to keep up with the depth of our receiver room when his coach Jason Phillips has said, I can play anywhere from 4 to 8 guys out there. And so it can be nonstop. And when you got a guy that's a generational to once-in-a-lifetime talent like Shedeur Sanders, everything is going to flow as it should through him. But what I am excited for, RK, is people are going to see a run game. We have a run game. We have an offensive line. We have backs that can and will get it done.
Love it. Coach, you ready? All right, here comes our special guest. He was on the show just a couple weeks ago, actually.
He was dropping gems as usual.
He's a gem dropper, my good friend, Coach Michael Pollock, one of the offensive analysts. And let me tell you guys this, and tell the audience out there, whether it's Reach the People, Well Off Media, or the Pregame Show, you get to see a lot of this program. But there's a lot of stuff you still don't get to see when we talk about competitive advantage. And let me give a shout-out to Coach Michael Pollock, who for the past week and a half or so has led off the team meetings with these points of emphasis, particularly on what the officials are calling the new rules and things we just can't do. He has been nailing it every morning.
Well, guys, I tell you what, I'm excited to be here, man. And I appreciate the kind words. Coach Prime's entrusted me to do a job, and that's what I'm going to do. That's the only thing I know to do.
So with that and with all these rule changes to college football this year, what is it that you've been focusing on really with the team?
Well, the biggest thing is the communication tool that we're going to have with the quarterback and one defensive player. More like the NFL. That was a big topic of conversation, and then also dealing with the new 2-minute warning, how that affects the end of the first half and second half. It gives you an extra timeout. Both teams basically get 4 timeouts a half now instead of 3. And in particular, dealing with the if you're trying to run the clock out in a 4-minute situation, it changes the way you have to handle that as opposed to the pass, But also the biggest thing is I've been trying to show our guys, other mistakes other teams have made that have cost them football games, and so we don't make the same mistake. I just SMU and Nevada had a situation this last Saturday with a kickoff return with a guy. He called fair catch. He dropped the ball. He picked the ball up on the 1-yard line, and they had to take it from the 1-yard line instead of getting it out at the 20 or 25. So things like that. Just trying to educate our kids. I've always felt like that the best teams in college football or NFL were the teams that knew the rules, knew how to take advantage of the rules. And I think when your kids or Coach Prime, was very smart in saying that we needed to emphasize this preseason and throughout the whole year. It's something that's going to continue to just come up with situations that we see happen in other games and just kind of educate our kids so we don't have the same mistakes happen to us.
You mentioned the in-helmet communication, the tablets. Why will that be an advantage for Colorado this year?
Well, I tell you what, any time you can get – first of all, Shedeur Sanders is I've been very fortunate to be with him since he was a freshman. Mm-hmm. And I've seen him mature and grow into the player he is today. And he's always been ahead of the curve, just from the jump. But to be in a situation where you can give probably the most talented, smartest, hardest working quarterback in the country, Coach Shermer being able to talk to him up until the 15-second mark, being able to communicate the play, communicate what his thought process is during that time. that's almost stealing. I'll just be honest with you. It's almost stealing. And so I think that, you got to be careful in that situation because you don't want to overload him with things because you want to let his mind and his talent take over. But I think it's always good that when you send in a play, you're able to tell him, hey, man, this is what I'm thinking here. This is kind of what we're looking at here. And just reminding him, just a little cue of reminding him of the situation and the shot clock. Plus, I think too, it's going to help him with the, the 40-second clock because it gets shut off at 15 seconds. There's no communication, so it'll kind of clue him in that hey, it's starting to wind down, so I got to get things rolling. But he's just, to be able to talk to him, and then also with the iPad on the sideline, we've had that in high school football for over a decade now, where they've been able to have TVs and iPads on the sideline, and you bring your players over in between series and show them. And to give a guy like Shedeur Sanders the opportunity to go out there for a series, play against a team, and then come back and watch what they just did to him, and him kind of verify, hey, this is what they're doing, this is what I thought I saw, this, that, and the other. It's a huge advantage. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how he operates with it because I think he's going to just be, spot on like as always, as y'all said. And it's just going to be that another tool, weapon in his belt that he's going to be able to use to his advantage. And he's already the cheat code. Let's just face it. He's already the cheat code.
You look at what we're trying to overcome from last year. Bill Goldberg said something to the defense the other day. He said, you're not responsible for last year's record, but you are accountable for what you do this year. And when you look at the accountability factor, I'm going somewhere with this, Coach Pollard, because what you've been emphasizing in the morning is cleaning up our game discipline-wise. We were the number 2 most penalized team in the nation, and I really think that cost us more of those 5 games that were one possession less than the sacks did,
no doubt,
than the big runs
no
did.
doubt.
The penalties are really what killed us last year. When you're pointing out these new rules, one of the things I love, guys, he's using people they look up to. Like he's showing a play with Tom Brady, and this happens. He even had to swallow his pride a little bit, and he had a Georgia game up there when they blew
was tough.
I can see it on your face that you hate to use that one as an example. Talk to us about your thought process on how you identify examples that are relatable to them and then make sure that they can learn from it so we don't go out there and do it.
Well, I think it's important. The example you used with Tom Brady was a 2-minute offense situation, and I think, guys already look up to him, and then for him, and they look up to what the Patriots were able to accomplish while he was there, and just to show how they handled a 2-minute operation and what they did, it really helps them, stay locked in a lot more. Also, we had Ed Reed come the other day and talk to the team, and I was able to use an example of Ed Reed returning an interception for a touchdown that got called back because the guy blocked in the back, and so as soon as they saw Ed Reed on they just locked them in a little bit more. But I think it's always important when you can show guys that they respect and they know and can see this is what the great guys, this is what it takes to be great. This is who it is, and this is what they handle, how they handle those situations, and just understand that this is the goal we're trying to achieve. And this is who we need to be looking up to and try to replicate their game.
Coach, this time last year, we're in Fort Worth. We had Coach Flea, Coach Brew. I can't remember if we had someone else.
Coach Hart.
Coach Hart was on the show as well. And we just got the vibe from talking to those guys, and just they were beaming. Like they were so excited for the game. They knew what they were going to do. What is the feeling, going into this game this year as opposed to last year's?
I tell you what, I really feel like it's more of we're excited and everything, but it's really a business mindset. We know we got to go take care of business. We know we know last year that we started the season off, with three big wins. We were the talk of college football, and then all of a sudden things kind of turned, and you saw how fast people turned on us. Yep. And that was a good lesson for the guys that are here to stay grounded. But so it's a more of a deal this year, I think, where it's a now mentality. We got to take care of business now. And, we got to take each opponent and not get all caught up in everything else that's going on. And I think a lot of our guys understand because of who our head coach is that we're going to get a lot of attention good and bad, whatever. People always try to knock the king off the mountain. And coach is such a professional, and he handles that in such a great way. And I think our kids can just learn from him. And hey, listen, stay focused. Everything's coming at you. No matter what's going on out there, lock in and do what you got to do to win this football game, because that's what we're all about. I mean, we're about winning the football game and everything that goes along with that. When you tell people, hey, we're all about winning, they're like, you should be more about that. No, here's the deal. If you take care of all the things, winning will happen. Mm-hmm. If you don't take care of everything that's important, winning will not happen. So all that other stuff does come into effect when you talk about winning.
I want to circle back a little bit more to the in-helmet communications. We have in-helmet communications going on right now. So I'm your quarterback. You're our play caller. You've got my in-helmet communication going. It just clicked on. Let's say we're in 10 personnel and we're looking at a 2-high look. What are you saying to me?
Right. Well, first of all, I'm gonna tell you the play I'm gonna call, so you can and tell you the call to give the offensive line to help you relay that to them. And then I'm going to tell you, hey, look here, it's too high. Let's think about, we gotta shoot the middle going right here. So just take a peek at it right here. Stuff, just little reminders of things like that. It's, hey guys, listen, it's 3rd and 6. Obviously down in distance is something that's going to come into play here. If it's a critical situation, maybe it's a situation to where, we just don't. We're already in field goal position and we got a chance. We got the game won as long as we just don't do something stupid with the ball. Just, hey, listen here, just throw it away if it's not there. Don't take a sack. Just little reminder that you can give him to help him out. But like I say, a lot of that's going to come on his shoulders, because after 15 seconds, that thing shuts down. And defensive coordinators are going to figure that out like they do in the NFL, where they don't show their hand until the 15 seconds is over too. Mm-hmm. So it's still going to fall back on your quarterback, where I told y'all earlier, I think we got the cheat code. So, hey, let's go play.
Now, Coach, let me ask you this to double down on what RK was asking you. How comfortable would you be when RK is telling you, okay, shut up, I got it?
Hey, listen, let me tell you something. I've known Shedeur since he was a freshman, and I've never had a problem turning over the play calling to him for a series. You know what I mean? Hey, sometimes if he's feeling it and you can tell he's feeling it, hey, bud, call this one. Let's go. What do you feel? Call what you think.
Let me give y'all a real-world example of that, all the way back to JSU. Pollock sends a play in. Next thing he knows, receiver is coming off. And Coach Pollock's like, hey, man, you in? He said, no, Shedeur told me come out. He said, well, come out then.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Like I say, he's the captain. He's the general on the field. And we got all the confidence in the world in him. Like I say, there's sometimes I've turned it over to him and let him call the series and just what he's feeling, And I mean, especially when you're in a 2-minute situation, I mean, that's such a luxury to have when you've got a guy that you say, okay, let's go. This is what we got to do. But you know what the thing about it is, his preparation is so good that he's always been in tune with whoever his coordinator was, with what they wanted and what they were expecting of him. So it's never been a speed bump in the road or anything totally different, Which hey, people don't. I don't know if a lot of young audience knows this, but hey, back in the late '70s, early '80s, Terry Bradshaw called all his own plays.
Yep.
When they won 4 Super Bowls with him calling. As a matter of fact, I got a friend of mine that played for the Cowboys that says that's the reason Roger Staubach retired, because Tom Landry wouldn't turn it over to him. He wanted to call plays. I'm sitting there thinking, daggone, we could have had Captain America calling plays a few more years. Come on, what are we talking about here? So, Shedeur's just that kind of guy. I mean, he is the kind of guy that you can put it in his hands, and there's no other football player in America I'd rather have in his hands than him.
I think Peyton Manning used to say that he would just pretend. He would be like, I can't hear, just so he could go call his own plays.
Yeah.
But I think Neely was asking how you would feel if I was your quarterback. Would you feel comfortable handing it over to me after 15 seconds?
Listen, I mean, if it's Victorio, I mean, I'd give it to you. I'd let you take. I'd take your snap and take a knee, man. I think you could do that one, right?
Coach, when we go back to December, like the start of the process of building this team and watching it come together, what has stood out to you the most? Going back to then, just seeing this team come together.
Well, I think obviously, like any other college football team, we had coaching departures, just like everyone. Everyone has change, turnover in this business. It's part of it. But I think the guys that Coach Prime brought in here to replace the pieces that left were huge, and I think the job that everyone done recruiting this roster, getting the talent level, we knew where our deficiencies were, and we knew what we needed to do to get better, and so we targeted those spots, and I think we've done a great job of getting better. But then also, just the whole off season, my strength staff's done a great job. Our coaches have done a great job of preparing these guys. And, it's just time to play. I mean, it's been since December. Like you said, it's been a sour taste in our mouth. We said it earlier today at a team meeting, we came in here and, if you had a business model of what we've done since we've been here, you take over a team that's won one game, you have a 400% increase in production in wins, but that's not us. Mm-hmm. We're not satisfied with that. So we're disappointed. Whereas if you were in the business world, you'd be on cloud nine right now with that. But that's just not who we are. That's not how our program's built. That's not how Coach Prime has built, and that's not the people he's put around him. So we went to work in December, and we did what we needed to do to get better.
Absolutely. Coach, before you get out, one more thing for you. I think that no one has had a better front seat on the offensive side of the ball than really knowing what our defense is about. Talk to us about iron sharpen iron and how you guys been going up against this defense each week. And as I do the show with these guys, some days the defense wins, some days you guys win, but I think everybody's gotten better because of it.
Well, I tell you what, for 3 seasons at Jackson State, I got to see a front row view of an NFL defense, and we've seen that this past year. This past offseason. We're looking at NFL schemes, NFL mindset, and there's been a lot of competition. Our Coach Livingston is not scared to line up, play man coverage, and get in your face, and we got the DBs to do it. Mm-hmm. And so from a standpoint of this is you knew you had to come out every day and bring your A game, because he was going to bring his A game and they were going to bring their A game. I'll be honest with you, our twos on offense have probably improved as much as anybody, because they go against our ones on defense. I mean, our young receivers, we got 2 puppies that we brought in here. We brought Draylon Miller from Texas and Cam Michael from Georgia in here, and both of those guys, along with the other young receivers, have improved tremendously since coming here, because they're facing, 2 and 3 of the best DBs in the country, right. and it's NFL man coverage in your face. Let's go, So they've had to bring it, so it's been exciting to see go against an NFL coordinator and to see what they're all about. And like I say, we got other guys over there helping that have that kind of experience as well. That just it's been really good for our offense development.
Awesome, Coach.
Love it. Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you,
guys.
Coach Michael
There you
Pollock.
go. Let's go Buffs.
Yes, sir.
We got to get these guys down to Booger Bottom in off season too.
No doubt.
All right, let's take a break. Shout out to Coach Pollock for stopping by again.
Always. Wait, and with the greatest hair in the Big 12, by the way.
Of course, always.
Don't leave that out.
I got you, Mike Gundy.
What about the Dancy fade?
I got to go Pollock, man.
The Dancy fade's been hiding from us.
Spinning the raps like all summer long.
Yeah.
Wait, did he say Dancy fade? You can't compare.
Shout out to our friends over at Game Time. There are still tickets available for tomorrow night's game. Head on over to Game Time, download the app, use that promo code BUFFS, BUFFS, and you'll get $20 off your first purchase. Broncos season starts in Denver the weekend after this. NFL starts a week from tomorrow, I think, right?
Yeah, September the 5th, Thursday 5th.
So get all your football tickets over at Game Time, concerts, events, whatever else you got going on in your city. Again, download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the promo code BUFFS for $20 off your first purchase.
And you can see your seats, man.
Yes, you
can see your seats.
The Game Time picks.
Yeah, you got to check out the Game Time picks, because they filter out, all of the money grabs out there and just give you the best possible prices that are available on the app.
So shout out to Game Time. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code BUFFS, BUFFS, $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it?
Game time.
Hell yeah.
That was good. Unrehearsed.
Which is 99% of what we do.
That's true.
That is true.
Also, a shout out to Kerr's The ultimate.
Wait, who?
Curse Light.
I love it. You should have done that with Pollock in here because you got to hear Pollock say the word "daddy." It's like "daddy," my daddy.
We've talked about the best times to have a Coors. Why was that so funny?
It was just, I don't know. I didn't expect
I
it.
didn't think it was hilarious. Say it again one time.
Coors Light.
Coors Light.
We've talked a lot about when the best Coors Light is. When is the best time to drink one? And we are on the eve of the actual best time to drink one.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
At the first tailgate of the season, the first
You know the mountains are blue, too.
Blue Mountain tailgate beer, game one, when it was still hot out.
Yeah.
That's going to be us tomorrow at the DNVR tailgate. So, shout out to our friends over at Coors Light, which it's just badass that they sponsor our show, if I'm being totally honest.
They're co-presenting the show at Game
Co-presenting sponsor. Make the most out of the times you choose to chill. Choose Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Instacart by going straight to CoorsLight.com/DNVR. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Goldorton, Colorado.
All right. Let's cover some of the news from today, too, because there is some big stuff that's come out.
Big stuff.
What?
I'm just laughing at the comments. Also, someone said, I have a whole water cooler with me.
That thing's a beast, bro.
With Coors Light in it.
I wish.
That'd be sick. I should do that.
The biggest news of the day, though, Shedeur Sanders becomes the first football player to sign an NIL deal with Nike. Obviously massive. Coach Prime, a checkered history with Nike, but back home with them, and now Shedeur's with them. How cool is that?
This is so cool. First of all, Nike never misses with stuff like this, but they absolutely nailed the poster that went along with the campaign. I love that they leaned into it. I think that's a beautiful thing with all of the scrutiny that has been around. Throwing up the Shedeur. But they lean into it. They said, you know what time it is. Just absolutely fantastic by them. And I shared this. We talked about it a little bit before the show, but I'll just share with the audience. We saw Shedeur on the field after the open practice.
Yep.
And we talked to him, and he just said to us, hey, big news coming the day before the game. And, he had this, big smile. He's glowing, telling us about it. We didn't know what it was. We were like, Jake and I, the whole drive, we're like, what do you think he was talking about? And then seeing it roll out today and just thinking about how, genuinely excited he was to share that just made me really happy. And also, I don't want to give these people too much oxygen, but, just makes it so dumb, how many people are trying to hate on this. Young man gets an amazing thing that happens for him, and people want to try and tear him down for it. It makes me sick. But aside from that, it was just really, really cool to see Shedeur be so excited to see this come out. And, the shoe that they dropped it with is my favorite of that whole collection, and super excited for Shedeur. First ever football NIL athlete for Nike. Can't take that from him.
Legendary.
And these billboards are going to be all over the nation. It's not just a social media campaign, not just TV commercials. You're going to be in Atlanta, New York, Orlando, Miami, Texas, all over the world on major interstates is going to be our quarterback on a billboard in your state.
Hell yeah.
Can't wait.
I love that. And I also love how many people that don't like it will have to see it.
Every day
on their way to work.
Also just furthers the belief that this is NILU, true NILU. Shedeur's working with Gatorade and now Nike and Mercedes. EA Sports, all this stuff. Google, it's crazy.
When you really just put facts and figures to what NIL intention is and what it actually is, this is NILU. Because you can't sit down and watch TV and find any other athletes from any other college that get the exposure that the NIL guys get here, whether that's Shedeur, Travis, Shiloh, you name it. It's not just a local NIL thing or a regional. These guys have national impact. Okay. Nowhere else.
I'm okay, I think.
Got a turf pellet in your eye or something?
I don't know, something.
Diving for a loose ball, got a little pellet there.
Yeah.
Tap your helmet if you need to come out.
I'm good.
And then, you got obviously Shiloh inking big deals, Travis inking big deals, all of these guys, the whole Elevations Credit Union thing. It's just one thing after another for this school. And like you said, it's the real intention of NIL, which is something we've talked about a lot. And it'll be an advantage for Colorado when they drop the hammer on all of the other stuff. that Colorado will be able to say, no, we've been doing this, and it's not just a tire shop down the street. Like, we got you legit big deals.
Yep. And then probably the biggest piece of good news from the national media we got this year dropped today as well.
Yeah.
Shout out to Adam Rittenberg, ESPN senior writer. Wrote basically a whole feature on Travis Hunter. Headline, Colorado Buffalo star Travis Hunter's playing for an encore. Sounds like he met up with him in the
Cotton Bowl.
March, at the Cotton Bowl for the EA CFB 25 cover shoot. Spoke to Travis a bit. I mean, this is just a whole profile, basically, talking about his workout plans, what Travis is like away from football, what happened, after the season, his injury that he went through, all sorts of stuff. What stood out to you?
Oh, man, there's so much good shit in there. Also, good mention in the comments there. Jimmy got the deal with Freddy's.
Yeah, that's a good one, too.
Yep, really good one. All right, I'll pull up the screenshot I had here of what I thought was the most notable part of this story. So this is referencing a track and field coach that Travis met up with in the offseason to work with, a legendary track and field athlete and now coach. Notably went to TCU. It says, after the spring semester ended at Colorado, Hunter was looking for a spot to speed train through a mutual friend connected with Shoulders. When they met, Shoulders asked Hunter about his goals and explained that he wanted to stress cardiovascular and endurance work as it helps recovery and prevents or reduces injury. And this is Travis talking to him, says, oh, coach, you don't have to worry about that. I can run all day. I kind of smirk like, okay, we'll see. Well, then he truly can. I've coached Olympic-level sprinters, quarter-milers, and I can honestly say I can put Travis on the track with any of them. He's the kind of kid you want to do a biopsy on and see what the heck he is made of. And then it goes on to say, Shoulders had Hunter run a standard set of 100-meter sprints with short breaks between them. While many athletes need to be pushed by the 6th or 7th sprint, Hunter became, quote, faster and faster and faster.
Inhuman.
Yes. Different.
His high school football coach, Drew Swick, over at Collins Hill, was also interviewed in this article, spoke a lot about his, and we already know all this, but Travis's off-the-field work ethic, especially when it comes to film study and stuff like that. But seriously, check this out. This is a great article, and we need more of this on the guys here at Colorado because it's usually the other way around, where they're picking them apart. Just some questions for you, I guess, before we get to prime players.
I'm here.
What's been going?
Looking at her toes under the table.
Jesus.
She's got the sandals on with the sparkle shoes on.
I need a pedicure.
She needs a pedicure. Got that in the budget? Is that in
Save
the
us,
budget?
Jake.
Coors
Save
Light
us.
in the budget?
Keep us rolling.
What's been going on the last week or so in Boulder? Well, first off, you, Bucky, Darius, haven't been showing very much of practice at all. It very much seems like things are really under wraps here. So what's been going on?
Keeping things under wrap. You and I, the three of us, we always talk about like the difference in the 3 channels and personal philosophies. Well, what you see taking place this time of year is just really my philosophy all time of year. I don't like showing plays, even the highlights. Not that it's wrong to do it, it's just not my thing. And I think, because of the past, if I could put a figure on it, say 5 to 7 practices, which may cover 10 days, we've truly been like in North Dakota State mode, not only with schematic stuff, but personnel stuff. And you don't want to give anybody anything. I think you'll start seeing more footage after week 1 and week 2 because now schools have game tape anyway.
Yeah.
But going into this first one, you tend to start, all right, let's not show that yet. Let's let them see it, Thursday night, around the second quarter. Then they'll figure out what that personnel grouping is. But, man, it has just been so locked in. Coach Pollock said it's just business mindset. Everybody's just ready to play. Like the way this summer has rolled out leading into this first game, when I say exhausted, I don't mean tired physically, but exhausted of hitting each other. Like it's like, okay, man, I've brought the best out of you. You brought the best out of me. It's like a heavyweight boxing camp. Now it's time to go fight. I don't want to spar anymore. I want to fight.
Love it. One more just note on preparations for this week. You guys are both drinking Gatorade.
Yep.
I'm drinking
Both.
water. That's all anyone's allowed to drink in here right now.
Yes,
It's
it is.
same as last year going into week 1.
Signs on the machine. And I still peed red today. So it's the vodka from last night.
I think you should clarify that you got a red light.
Yes.
No, I don't want to clarify. I want them out there, guess it. No, but you know the deal. We got hydration meters in the urinals here. And they're green, yellow, red, let you know your hydration. This year there's a new step. I don't know if you guys noticed on the wall. It's not only what the green, yellow, what to do to correct it. So, and you know that Gatorade bottle they saying drink one of these. That's 32 ounces. That's not like a cup.
Mm-hmm. Well, Unc, I want to make sure that you're doing what you need to do to hydrate. You got a long day on your feet.
I got a long day tomorrow on my feet, but you know, I talked to Pat Shermer. He and I typically have lunch or something together, and he told me I didn't have any go routes tomorrow. So
that's good.
I think I'm gonna stay on this vodka train for now.
Mostly bubble screen.
Yeah, just a little bubble screen, and then it's just a check down. And I'm yards after catch. Like I ain't got to go deep.
Right. Okay.
So
good.
I'm hydrated enough for that.
Just make sure you carry out your fakes. Keep the defense on.
It's all about the fake.
Well, you'll
I'm what you call a deep threat. That's a fast guy that can't catch. Like, chase me if you want to. He's not throwing it to me. As
Coach Pollock said, you and I can come in for victory formation.
I will take a knee.
Yeah.
Victory!
We saw Cordell Russell had surgery. We know Khalil's back, but it seems like the team is pretty healthy.
Oh, man, you know, I texted you guys, and I was like, I knock on wood, didn't work. Because right after we were talking about how successful this camp was with a lack of injuries, Cordell suffered a collarbone injury. You know, good luck to him. Had his surgery. He'll bounce back. We had no other, injuries through camp. Shout out to AP and the training staff keeping people healthy, and the coaches know how to push you just to the right limits. Khalil did have a little elbow bang up, but it's over that, back 100%, will be playing. So none of the guys that you were counting on or looking at are hurt. Everybody's available. Yeah. Speaking of everybody being available, everybody will dress tomorrow as well for this first home game. Coach Prime announced this morning.
And that was based on yesterday's practice, right? He said if everyone nails this practice, we'll get everyone in uniform.
I would say yesterday's practice and that Sunday evening practice have been the two best practices going all the way back to the spring. And so, again, the sparring, the heavyweight champ scenario, you're just absolutely peaking at the right time before game time. So when you watch TV, if you're here at Folsom, you will see the complete team dressed for this home game.
It's going to be packed on that sideline.
It will be packed on that sideline.
But, yeah, obviously we're thinking of Cordell and hope he gets a speedy recovery. But that aside, incredibly successful camp from that perspective, and that's a credit to everyone. Credit to the players taking care of themselves after the practices. It's credit to the strength and conditioning staff, credit to the training staff, and credit to the coaching staff. And the last one is one I just want to touch on briefly because that can be mismanaged by the coaching staff. And I'm not saying necessarily that this coaching staff did mismanage it.
Look at Charlotte.
Charlotte said today that they're going to be missing half of their starters due to injury in week 1.
At least 9, yeah.
Almost half, yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, like you look at this little elbow bang up that Khalil Benson had. Under the wrong staff, wrong environment, that ends up being 6 games. But now he's not missing any because the way it was managed and the way he took personal responsibility and managed. There were a lot of practices like, oh, Coach, I wish I can go in, but I don't want to miss game 1 to have a practice or 2. So it's the right attitude and environment across the board because what you guys are saying happened at Charlotte is typically the norm. Because, when you go through camp, it's push, extreme, versus, no, let's get ready for week 1.
Yeah, and Coach Prime has taken some heat, I guess, for the idea of don't touch the quarterback, don't touch Travis, and don't touch the wide receivers.
Yeah.
And it worked.
It did work. But I tell you what you love, when you're in the room and he's saying that for the 100th time, I love looking at the running backs' faces because he's like, don't touch the receivers, stay away from 2, don't touch Travis. Open season on the running backs, they go like.
And I understand that from them, but people are like, oh, he only cares about the wide receivers because he just wants his son to have better targets to throw to. It's a body type thing.
Yeah, that's not what that
Running
is.
backs are built to take hits a lot more than
and they have to
wide
get in the
receivers.
rhythm of it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it works for them. And again, when I say their faces, they ain't mad. It's just it's just like you go like, man, why did I pick this position? I could have played anything in middle school, and now I'm here that I got to get tackled all summer long. But having said that, I think that room is ready. I think Charlie Offerdahl is going to do his thing, and I think you're going to see other guys throughout the game get carries and make the most of their opportunities.
Charlie starting.
What do we always say? There's Kurt Dog. What do we always say? You guys ask me, and I say, if the game were tomorrow, well, guess what? The game is tomorrow. Charlie Offerdahl is starting. He'll be RB1.
Let's go.
You got anything else before we get to prime players?
No, I just wanted to just enjoy that for a second.
It's
Commence the
and
chat
maybe
blow-up.
we should not drive down this road, but this is about to fire the chat time. Everybody thinks like this story of him being RB1 week 1 is being manufactured for the sake of the story. They just don't see the work that this guy has put in and what he does with his opportunities.
100%.
The same thing he did going from walk-on to scholarship. He's done it to show that wasn't a fluke and I deserve this. I've earned this. Now, is there some additional talent in the room that you will see as the year goes on? Absolutely. Just like if you're the Broncos, Cowboys, or whoever, you're going to have more than one back play.
Yep.
But as it relates to week 1, I mean, he has not only earned and deserved, he's the guy. But everybody thinks, oh, y'all just doing that trying to make a movie. We're trying to win a damn game.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to bask in it for a second. Not because I have a dog in the fight. I want whoever wins the job to start.
Yes.
But what I didn't like is everyone acting like we had some sort of like narrative.
It's a script. Like it's a script.
And again, like it was just you telling us what was happening and us repeating it.
Yep.
And they would attack me like same as y'all, like I was forcing it. And all I'm doing is answering the question. Y'all would ask me, what did I see at practice today? I saw Charlie carry the ball more than anybody else.
Yeah.
What are we mad? Why are y'all mad?
To the people that are doubting Charlie, just remember this time last year, y'all doubted Trevor Woods quite a bit too. Look at where he's at.
Made
Look
one
at
of the biggest
impact.
plays in that game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
and he's made some outstanding plays in camp. Speaking of Trevor, another original buff, I think is going to have an impact in this game as well.
And everyone's going to play eventually.
that's the thing. Yeah.
I don't get it, dog. This is not. Steven Spielberg is not upstairs with the PN going, "Hey, let me help y'all write this." This is actually organically happening.
Yep. Amen.
Yep. All right, let's take a break, and then we'll get to everyone's favorite pre-game show segment, Prime Players of the Week.
Uh-oh.
Shout out to UC Health and their Ready, Set, Co challenge. With Coach Prime as the Chief Motivation Officer, he wants to help you and other Coloradans be your healthiest selves. For UC Health's Ready, Set, Co challenge, the goal of the challenge is to get Colorado back to its rightful place as the healthiest state in the country. It is the season. We need to maintain our health as well.
Absolutely.
Maybe go on a few more walks, sleep a bit better, go to bed earlier,
We
better.
had a great walk at that Utah game.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
It was like 8 miles to get to a car that wouldn't start.
It's been so long since that. That is crazy. But shout out to UC Health. If you want to join UC Health's Ready, Set, Co challenge, click the link in the show notes or go to www.uchealth.org/readysetco.
Man, I love my Toyota.
I was putting this all together in the car, and I was like, this is perfectly set up for man, I love my Toyota.
It really is. If drinking and driving were a thing, and you could mix the way you say Coors Light with Toyota, it'd just be perfect. But we can't.
I'll take my Toyota to go buy some Coors Light, and then drive back to my house and drink them. And I'll trust my Toyota to get me there and back with no problems because I've had my Toyota for many years now and have run into zero problems with it. And I don't have to knock on wood because I trust it. Got us up here beautifully,
Yes,
did it not?
Yes, it did.
It did. So shout out to Toyota.
I got a special personal shout out to your Toyota. Now that we have, openly shared to the world about the
There's a certain cadence you speak in when I just know you're about to say something.
No, this is true story, man. Like, I had the honor when we went RV hunting, I had the honor of following your Toyota back to civilization. And your Toyota did a great job getting us out of there.
Thank you. Anyways, visit your Furnish Toyota store at a location near you. AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial, Corin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota
And
West.
all of that
in
is front range.
It is.
Yes,
Toyota,
it is.
proud partner of CU Athletics and the official vehicle of DNVR.
All right. It's that time. How is this all done? Is it all the names just going to be thrown up there? Okay. Who wants to start? Offensive player of the game.
I'll go, since you're looking at me. Mm-hmm. I'm going with a guy that
Do you remember who you picked?
I absolutely remember.
Okay.
I'm going with a guy who had some very bright spots during camp. Just when you thought there was a lull in the offense, here comes a big play to him. So I am going with – I thought it was going to be on the screen.
It's
No.
Oh, yeah. Jake could show us.
You did forget.
No, I know my receiver. I was just going to point at it.
Here, I'll make sure that you can see all your picks just in case. You're right there.
Dude, listen.
What did you just do?
I tell you, I needed that. My guy was Will Shepard, number 14. I thought it was going to be like big screen right here on the monitor, like we have at the studio.
Hold on.
No, I'm going with 14, Will Shepard. The plays I've seen that guy make. He's one of those receivers, man, that it's not like this 60-yard bomb, but it's that 30-yard touchdown pass. He doesn't miss when Shedeur looks for him. He's got great hands, great separation, and I love his 50-50 ball because Will Shepard is not a small receiver. I don't know if y'all stood next to him or seen him in person.
Oh, yes.
He's a big boy. I like Will Shepard in this game for offense.
I absolutely love Will Shepard in this game. It's a great pick. But we said before the show that
That's what I was looking for.
I got you.
we weren't instituting the no Travis or Shedeur rule yet. It'll eventually come up. Once
You did say that after.
No, I said it before. So I'm starting with Shedeur Sanders, the week 1 king of college football. And look, last year, it's so funny to think back to this because I had this thought process today. I was thinking to myself, there's no way that North Dakota State thinks that they can run Tampa 2 as much as they want to against Shedeur Sanders because he will slice it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought to myself, wait, that's exactly what I was saying last year about TCU. I said, there is no way TCU is going to try to play man coverage all day against this wide receiver group.
That's exactly what they did.
Guess what? They did, and then he threw for 500 yards.
Yep.
So I think that they might try to just say, hey, it's about us, not them, do their thing. And Shedeur Sanders will find those gaps. And I will almost bet to you right now that at some point he hits a deep post in between the safeties over the linebacker for a long touchdown.
Agreed.
All right. I went with LeJontay Wester. He was the best offensive player in the spring game. And you said Will Shepard. I feel like there's a lot of attention on him. I just wanted to point out, don't forget about this guy because he's really damn good as well.
And I'm going to tell you this, Jake, one of us is going to be right. Because the other one takes so much attention off the other that it's amazing when you see it at practice.
Yeah.
The minute the defense says, okay, we're going to do everything we can for Wester not to embarrass us again. And then he embarrasses them. Like it's going to move around. I love your pick.
All three of us are going to be right.
Oh,
I mean, we're all.
Yeah, if he and one of us are right, you're definitely right.
Yes, exactly.
I think all three.
Defensive player, I went with B.J. Green. Coach Prime has not been shy about the praise that he's heaped on to B.J. Green's plate since he showed up. He has been basically as advertised. He calls Warren Sapp sensei. He seems like he's really absorbed the coaching from all three of those guys, Dancy, Sapp, and Lewis. And he's going to be the best pass rusher tomorrow night.
I totally agree, and we picked the same player without us discussing it or knowing the other one had picked it. I like what BJ does. At practice, sometimes you have to say, hey, hold on a second, the offense is actually trying to work on something. Yeah. and you're disrupting it. It's like, we want to practice on offense too. I got him at 3 sacks tomorrow, man.
Oh.
I got him at 3 sacks tomorrow.
Okay, well, this is another situation where I think we can both be right because the only way that B.J. Green is going to get 3 sacks is if Block Bully and the crew in the interior of the defense do their job in stopping the run. And that's why I took Chidozie for my defensive player. Look, this is on them. This is on the interior defensive line and the linebackers, and, of course, the edge guys too, to stop this run. If you stop this run and you make this team throw, you're going to win the game, and I think you're going to win the game easily. I think if you let them run, you're going to be in trouble, and I think that Block Bully is built for a game like this. So, maybe in the first half you see Chidozie get a couple tackles for loss, stuff up the run, and then in the second half is when your guy B.J. Green can go get 3 sacks.
Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it.
You start us off for sleeper.
All right, my sleeper.
Chat's going crazy.
The chat's favorite player.
Stir him up again.
Charlie Offerdahl, man. We've been building up to this moment for years.
Literally, yes.
And he has worked really, really hard to get this opportunity. And the thing about Charlie Offerdahl, every moment until now is when you give him an opportunity and you give him a little bit more, he takes it and runs with it.
Yep.
And he takes it and runs with it. No running back, pun intended. But tomorrow is probably the biggest opportunity anyone's ever given him. And he's going to take it and run with it. And so I expect him to have a good game, and I'll be really excited for him if he does.
I believe it so much, I'm going to put a number to it. Give me Charlie Alfadal, 125 yards and 1 touchdown.
Ooh, that'll be a fun post-game show.
Yes. I'll just go first because I'm in the same room. I took Micah. The guy's just an absolute hammer. Going back to spring football, he basically caused the running back room turnover. I don't think we've heard too much from Micah, but I think that might be a little bit by design from fall camp because
Love it.
when he does pop, he's still doing exactly the same thing, running through people and scoring touchdowns.
And you got to want to tackle him. Like he is a bowling ball out of a cannon. You got to want to tackle him. I love that pick. For my sleeper, I went with Mate from a land down under. Let me tell you why. I've seen this guy, particularly the past 2 weeks of practice, drop balls like on the 8, the 5, the goal line, and spin it back. I mean, he looks like a golfer on an approach shot to the green. And the reason I think he's going to not be a sleeper is because now we're going to play complementary football and we're going to kick it deep, and the special teams are going to keep them held down instead of us kicking it to the 5 and they run it to the 50 and you forget about how great the kick was. I think that Mate is tooled to do the right thing with his ball placement, no pun intended, and I think the team is built to make sure you remember that he pinned them deep because they hold them there.
Absolutely, and this would be a big game for the Buffs to win field position.
Oh, definitely.
You can have, NDSU trying to run out of their own end zone, and then have it punt to you, around the 50. You're going to thrive tomorrow.
Yep. So there you go. Week 1 prime players. We will do this again next week.
We will.
It feels so good to be back in season mode, man.
Yeah.
It does. Also, next week we'll be doing prime players from the road.
Yes, we will.
On the road again?
It is football season, so it's Bet365 season. My favorite book. I can't wait to build what I made a lot of money on last year, which is these moneyline parlays with big favorites. Again, with Bet365, you got the early moneyline payout. If your team gets up, I think it's 17. Someone said it was 17. So it's 17. If your team goes up by 17 points or more, that money line cashes. Even if they blow the lead and end up losing the game, you still cash out that money line. Sign up with the code DNVR365.
Wow.
Deposit $10. Use for the bet and get offer.
And it happened last week.
Yeah, it happened 3 times.
Last week it happened 3 times. The team was up 17 and lost.
Montana State.
Yeah, Montana State came back from down 17.
UNM, and then the
Nevada wasn't up 17, were they? I don't think so.
No, okay, so then there was another one I thought as well.
Georgia Tech, no. I don't know. Either way, the Montana State one did hit. So if you had, I think they were plus 800 dogs, UNM was.
Yep.
Well, maybe not that much. It was like 12.5. Whatever. You cashed that and lost, but you still cashed it.
Yep.
It's a beautiful thing.
Sign up with the code DNVR365. Deposit $10. Place a bet of $5 or more. Once that bet clears, whether it hits or misses, you'll get $150 in bonus bets directly into your account. You must be 21 or older. Physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER.
I don't know anyone with a gambling problem.
Me either.
Yesterday actually, one of Circle K's competitors tweeted out a pro fall wedding stance.
Terrible take.
Unbelievable. Not going to mention them here, but my immediate response to that was, this is why we go to Circle K. This is why we go to Circle K. Circle K is not pro fall weddings. They know ball. And while I'm sure they believe in love, they believe in it happening in the summer or any other season. So shout out to our friends over at Circle K. We love them. And you can become a Circle K Inner Circle Rewards member by going to www.circlek.com/inner-circle for more information. And when you do that, you're going to get a discount on gas. You're going to get a discount on snacks. And you're not going to have to worry about your snack provider being pro fall weddings.
Let them know about the Inner Circle.
I did.
Oh, did you? Okay, sorry.
Lock in.
Lock them.
yeah, exactly.
I'm so locked in. I'm just focusing on tomorrow is where I'm at.
Can we have that as a sound drop?
Get Damian Lewis. Ian, man.
All right, let's get to
Jake, if it's not about winning, it's not important.
It's true.
Yes.
So lock in.
All right, I am.
No, everything has to be about winning at this point. Get it out your mind if it's not.
Yeah.
Lock in.
I'm there, bro. I don't know what else you want from me. Super chats and questions. Do you want the headset?
Yeah.
Get your questions in the chat now.
Get your questions in the chat now.
I see all your super chats.
That's how you know I'm
Appreciate
old
guys.
now. I had to make a noise just to lean.
Man, you don't want to talk about it.
We're getting a lot of questions about where the game is being broadcast.
ESPN.
ESPN. Not Ocho, not you, not Plus. The big station. ESPN. 6 p.m. Mountain, 8 p.m. Eastern.
By the way, make sure if you're going to the game, you reference your tickets with the graphic that CU Buffs football has posted about 1 million times now about the stripe out. There's no excuses. This is week 1. We've had all off season to prepare for it, at least a month since they announced it. So make sure you check the graphic. Make sure you know where you are sitting and what color you are supposed to wear because of that.
Yep.
I'm one of the few that actually believes that CU fans can pull this off. So I'm putting my faith in you because I have let go of hell. So help me and execute this stripe out.
You just caused me to believe.
Thank you.
That's how belief works.
It is.
Yeah.
Buffs are 10-point favorites tomorrow. Are you betting on them?
Yeah, actually at Bet365 you can bet
They're at 9.5, I think, on Bet365 still.
well, and you can bet alternate lines.
Yes, you can.
LTFI.
I am. I'm ready. I'm waiting on super chat.
We'll finish with final score predictions before we leave.
East Coast Kev says, I'm just going to say it. Stephen A. is not Prime's boy. I hope Colorado wins everything this year. 12-0. Stamp it.
Let's go.
A stamped.
My guy, East Coast Kev. Thank you, bro.
East Coast Kev.
94's Finest says, Super Chat says, 1,600 viewers, only 350 likes. Let's get them up.
Hit that like button.
Yeah, smash that like button.
Yeah,
And subscribe
LTFI.
to the Pregame Show and DNVR Sports on YouTube.
Absolutely.
Talking Buffs with YC says, what's the highest number of draft picks CU has had in one draft?
Ooh, a lot. 1994 team was absolutely stacked with draft picks. But I don't know the exact number. If I were to guess, I would say 8.
The 94 team or the 94 draft?
I don't know. I mean, it was the 94 team, so it would probably be the following draft. This is not going to work for you.
Yeah, you went the absolute wrong way on
But
that.
also, you're going
Why?
to scroll through the whole thing?
Yeah, because
No,
you just
I'm
could have
just gonna
said
control.
Colorado's highest draft picks enter.
There's 10 here.
10? There you go.
10 and 95.
All right. Wow, he did that pretty well. We
He
doubted
did.
him.
I doubted him to motivate him. We talked about
What
this
did you
before
guys
we
think
went
I
on
was
the
going
air.
to do here?
I thought you were just going to scroll.
No.
Okay, next super chat from Ham Badge. He says, keep 2 clean, no stupid penalties, and contain NDSU's run game, and it should be a party night. Thanks for keeping the hype all offseason, DNVR and UNC.
All eyes on number 9. When number 9 is on the field, make sure you know where he is at all times.
Yep.
That's simple.
Amen.
And hit that guy, too.
Yeah, don't just look at him. I'm sorry. We got to be clear with our instructions.
Well, let's make it like if they're gonna have this as a big part of their offense and they're gonna try and feature him, hit him.
Yeah.
Make him feel it.
don't
Yeah,
have
but to
to
the
tell
fans
Shiloh
out there
that.
watching in Folsom or watching at home, you will – the ball is going to number 9, and the tackles and all other 11 helmets are going to number 9.
All right.
Unveiling Astonishing Realities asks, question for UNC, is Prime going to shave the beard before the game?
You know, my bet is yes, because he always does. But because he still had it, I'm holding out hope because I love bearded Prime, man. Like, I think it just rocks. I think it's, just old school. I love when I see him in the mechanic suit with the beard, I'm hoping we get here tomorrow and he has the beard. But if I had to lay a bet, I'm going to bet he's going to shave it.
I agree with you, but this is a facial hair show, so.
Yeah.
We're
I
pro-beard.
want him to keep it, man. Shout out to Beard Prime.
Super chat from Prince. ALLCITY Sports, would y'all consider doing an HBCU market? Also, you could have it in NC since North Carolina has the most HBCUs. Also, having it in Raleigh, Durham would have you doing UNC, Duke, NC State, and other NC sports.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I wouldn't say we would do it as like a full HBCU thing just because that's not our model. But as we go and continue to go to markets like you're mentioning, like Raleigh, absolutely want to do that. And then maybe as you get together, like now we're starting to pick up quite a few Big 12 teams. So it's like I want to do like a Big 12 thing eventually. The problem was we just didn't meet very many cool people that cover the Big 12 other than us.
Yeah. And cool is the standard,
we're the
and
best,
it's non-negotiable.
So, yes, absolutely would love to do that.
Next one from J-Hub. If NDSU is a run heavy, do you expect Travis to play a lot on the defense?
I expect Travis to be Travis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he'll be out there regardless of scheme, because just because you run heavy, you still got to factor in play action and stuff like that. Like they're going to throw the ball, and so Travis Hunter is your best thing on defense in the secondary. So he's going to be out there as much as possible.
But there's maybe a chance that if you're going to take him off the field, first down against this team might be the time to do it.
Sure.
Another super chat from 94's Finest. Neely, Jake, and RK, if you all had to guess how many touchdowns do you think Two throws tomorrow? How many receiving yards for Will Shepherd and Wester? And how many rushing yards for Charlie and Dowling?
One at a time.
Touchdowns for Shedeur tomorrow.
5.
4.
Yeah, I'm going 4.
Receiving yards for Shepherd and Wester.
Combined, 250.
24.
Yeah, they both will be over 100. So
How many rushing yards for Charlie and Dowling?
I'm going Charlie 125, and I think Dallin is going to make the best of his when he gets them. To the degree, his yards on less carries could eclipse Charlie's yards.
I'll say 175 total rushing yards tomorrow.
Okay. I'll ride with that as well.
Cool. And then the last part of his was just great show. Can't wait for tomorrow.
My guy,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Prince again with another super chat. Have you all seen years ago Steve Superior did the same thing? Spurrier did the same thing Coach Prime did with the media. He said he's not talking to media but would do individual.
Well, he said he wasn't speaking to a specific media member and said, but I'll give all the rest of you guys one-on-ones.
This
Coach
is
Prime
not
said that.
This is not new. I mean,
No.
when I say this, it's not only not new to Coach Prime, it's not new to the coaching industry as a whole,
No.
whether it's collegiate or NFL. Like, I don't want to talk to you. Period.
I mean, this is the latest in a long line of things that aren't new that happen here that everyone people are literally mad about him saying don't touch Shedeur in practice, as if every fucking coach in America doesn't do that. We're allowed to still do that, right? I'm still allowed to curse.
Today, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the standard, man. That's why the quarterbacks have on different color jerseys. That's why you don't get near to their arm range of motion so they don't hit their hand on the helmet. I don't get it. And the same thing like when they talk about this alleged daddy ball. When you have a guy that's Shedeur Sanders, I don't care who the coach is, if you got a Shedeur Sanders, your quarterback, the offense is going to flow through that talent.
Yes.
That's not daddy ball. That's called I want to win.
Yep.
I'm so sick of talking about other media.
Hang in there, Jake.
I'm over it.
You're doing such a good job.
Thank you.
Roll Elizabeth says, great episode. What is more likely to happen? D-line getting 2 more sacks, DBs getting 1 interception, or the O-line not allowing a single sack?
Give me the O-line not allowing a single sack.
Give me the D-line with the sacks.
And what was the other one?
Interceptions.
Interceptions,
Oh.
or the O-line not allowing a single sack.
I'll say O-line allows no sacks.
Super sticker from Big TZ. Shiba
Hell
Dog
yeah.
saying, good job, while raising his thumb up.
That wasn't rehearsed.
Of course, lots of jersey questions.
We have no idea.
Yeah, and you'll see tomorrow.
There you go.
26 hours.
Amy did ask, though, anyone know who has confirmed L's and D's on their shirt right now?
No D's yet. The leaders, I'm probably going to forget somebody, but Shedeur, Cam, Mate,
Charlie.
and Charlie. I didn't forget anybody thanks to Jake.
And me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear you. I heard his voice. And thanks to my guys, I didn't miss one. But the D's will be coming. Pause.
A Band of Brothers super chat. Travis starting in the slot or outside?
Outside.
I outside.
Yeah.
94's Finest with another super chat. Y'all can stop crying in the comments about it. Who starts week 1? It's week 1 against an FCS team, not week 10 conference team. Chill out and let the staff cook.
Preach.
You don't even need any of the other parts. It's just the staff isn't like playing games out here. They're trying to win.
Yeah. And win convincingly.
Yes.
Super chat again from East Coast Kev says, respect to Prime for helping these young men get savings accounts for their kids, but then again, Prime only cares about his son. Sarcasm.
Yep.
It's
Great
crazy.
take.
Super chat from Big Mike says, with Down Hayden being the featured player interviewed yesterday by Mark, will he be the starting running back tomorrow?
No.
I doubt if he'll be the starter, but he's going to get some carries.
Super chat from the Cape Crusader says, not to be a contrarian, but if we get upset tomorrow, is it panic time? The amount of hate the team gets on Twitter is insane. We'll be roasted badly.
So let me walk you through what's going to happen. We're going to win this game, and then the haters are going to say we didn't win convincingly enough, no matter what the score is. We can win by a field goal. They're going to say something. We can win by 35. They're going to say something. Thankfully, the team is not focused on what people are saying on the outside. They're focused on winning and being dominant on the inside. But someone is going to have something to say anyway. And let me justify part of it, guys. The truth is, until we get to win 4 and 5, people are going to still say something because we ran out 3 in a row last year and then fizzled. So we win 1, they're going to say, yeah, but we win 2, yeah, but we win 3, yeah, but it's going to still say, yo, you did that last year. We got it. Let the staff cook.
Absolutely. And, regardless of any of that, I'll just win. Just win. There's an old saying in golf, there's no pictures on the scorecard. I'll say there's no pictures in the win column, especially in college football in 2024. Style points don't matter anymore.
Nope.
But I think they will get some style points.
I will say this, and this is not about losing to North Dakota State. This is just in general college football with the playoff system. Losing 1 or 2 games early in the season does not mean what it meant 5 years ago, 6 years ago, hell, 2 years ago. You're going to have a 2-loss team, maybe even a 3-loss team in the college playoffs this year.
Or
you're
more.
Gonna have multiple 3-loss teams, I think.
Yeah, because it's going to be conference champions.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Super chat from Mr. Hillsman, $50. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Legend.
He says, we're reading super chats. Shout out to all the DNVR folks behind the scenes.
Thanks.
His classic message.
Thank you,
sir.
thank you.
Shout out Alyssa.
Another super chat from Big TZ says, Big TZ in the house. Go Buffs.
Let's go
Big
Buffs.
TZ in the house.
Super chat from Johnny says, if CU put up 45 points on TCU last year at an away game, there's no reason they can't put up 60 points against NDSU with a much better offense at home.
Spot on.
Great point. The only thing I'll say is that TCU saw that it was going to be a shootout, and they were like, let's do this thing.
Yeah, they embraced the shootout.
They were just like, let's go.
Yep.
Blow for blow down the field. So I think NDSU has a much different game plan.
Yeah.
Another super chat from East Coast Kev says, hashtag play off Peggy. I'm standing on my hashtag.
Thank
Love
you
it.
again, East Coast Kev.
Last one here from Carl Mays says, RK Jank Unk, I'm headed to the airport now from H-Town, tailgate and game ticks in hand, and I'm coming to kick it and watch these boys beat the brakes off NDSU. See y'all in a minute. King Motivator.
Motivator!
Thank you, King Motivator. We will see you soon, my friend. Is that it?
That was awesome.
That is it.
Great job, Alyssa.
We can't get out of here without giving score predictions.
Score predictions. Who wants to go first?
I don't mind putting my money where my mouth is. 4.
Are you carrying numbers over it?
Yeah, I'm counting Shedeur's 4th thrown, but we're also going to get 2 on the ground, 1 from a back, maybe 1 from Shedeur himself. So give me Colorado 42 and North Dakota State. I'm going to hold them at a touchdown and a field goal, 10, 42-10.
Okay.
I was going to go 49-17.
That's a lot of points. I don't think there's going to be enough possessions for that many points.
I need Shedeur to hit these marks that I just talked about, though.
All right. I guess I'm going lowest scoring here. Give me Colorado in what is known as a Fetty whopping 38-17 or 17-38.
17-38.
I love it. Anything else before we wrap up the first pregame show of the season?
Other than, man, it's great to be back with you guys, like officially back. Well, I know we did some stuff over the summer, via links and all that. I know we did some stuff during the spring, but it's football season, week 1.
Oh, my gosh.
We're so back.
We are back.
We are so back.
And we will be back again tomorrow.
Post-gaming it.
Basically, I don't know, half an hour, 45 minutes after the game ends, we'll be somewhere in this facility going live.
Going
Headsets
live.
on.
With a better backdrop.
Yes. I kind of don't want this to end. Honestly.
I will say, we could always have a better backdrop, but being in the building is pretty cool.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because, we could be at our studio right now and have a beautiful backdrop, but
Right.
we're in the building.
We could be on the mezzanine out there and have a beautiful backdrop if we had a long cord. and people not in our way.
Next time Fox comes, ask them again if we can use their set.
Let's just take over it.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
All right. See you guys after the game tomorrow evening.
Tomorrow evening. Let's go Buffs.
Let's go Buffs.
Let's go Buffs.
We all silly like the mayor.